How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today we're going to go over everything wrong with my $8,900 Mercedes-Benz SL55 AMG. Actually, before we start, I want to say thanks to my friend Eric. He owns High Intake Performance, and they operate out of his family shop here in West Orange. This is Harrison Complete Auto. So I want to give a shout out to him. You can check out all his stuff if you guys need any aftermarket components for any of your cars. He has a lot of parts in stock, and he can order them at great prices. All that stuff will be in the description below. But today, I'm just gonna go over everything wrong with my $8,900 Mercedes-Benz SL55 AMG. Like I said in the intro, but it's not just gonna be me complaining about stuff. It's not just gonna be me moaning about things that should have been and things that I would personally like on the car. It's gonna be what's indicative of you buying a car for this little amount of money. So this isn't a necessarily representative example of what you'd get when you buy a AMG that's depreciated and neglected, but there are some universal things, stuff like body damage, stuff like the wear and tear. So this is just going to be an overview of how badly or how well this car is aged despite its clear abuse. So let's start with the exterior. Right away, this SL shape is one of my favorites. It's actually my favorite out of any Mercedes-Benz SL, especially even the R230 with a facelift. I think the pre-facelift models look way better, but this one needs a little bit of work. See, this has this black paint job has a lot of scuffs. It looks like somebody just hit this car, kind of sideswiped it, and it might not have been a car, it might have been, against something, because it ends right here where the arch sort of arches out, for lack of a better term, and there's a lot of scuff marks, and it leads to one kind of nasty dent. And that dent looks like it can be taken out by a paintless dent repair, or just a skim of Bondo, or me just hitting it with a hammer, but it is there. It follows all the way back here where you can see some more scuff marks. If you go up here, I know on the camera it probably looks like this is pristine and it's like a mirror finish, but it really isn't. There is actually quite a bit of scratching here. There's a deep scratch right here, and it goes back here. And I mean, this car I have no idea how many owners it has. Well, it has one owner, that's me now, but I don't know how many owners it had in the past. But they did not treat this car very well. It has a lot of scratching over here. Again, it's probably hard to see just because they're minute scratches. I can't really feel them with my fingernail, and it looks like these can probably be sanded out with some 1,000, then 1,500, then 2,000 grit, and then a nice polish, fingers crossed. But if we go down here, this will definitely have to be replaced. This is the third brake light. If this would be on any other car, this third brake light, it would cost like 10 to 15 bucks. But since it's on a Mercedes AMG, it is $120 brand new, or it's 75 to 100 if you want to buy it used. So that's going to have to be replaced. The rear bumper actually isn't bad. It looks like the parking sensors did their job, because there aren't any dents or any scrapes to speak about. I mean, there's a little thing here, but it's not too bad. If we come around the side, we can see more of those scuff marks that were present on the other side. So this car just got railed. It's got so railed. Here is probably the most egregious one. Now you can feel it. There's a gouge here in actual bodywork. This is metal and this is plastic. So there's a gouge here, and it follows all the way to the door, and that's going to need some paint work. Moving right along, there don't actually seem to be any heinous faults with the car's bodywork. You can see that it is a 10 to 20 footer. Man, it is sort of loud over here. That's what I get for being in New Jersey and not being in Florida. But if you go closer to the car, you can see that here, this is sort of loose, and I might want to actually take this off. Yeah, I think I'll take this off and put this inside the car, because these things, as crappy as they are, they're like $200 a piece. So I might just need to set that aside until I can get that on the bumper a little bit better. So the bumper itself has a fair bit of damage. It looks like it was painted with like a roller. It's really, really bad. And over here it's actually cracked. So this bumper is gonna have to get some body work and a repaint. But it's not as bad as some other bumpers I've seen. It definitely isn't as bad as the S55 bumper I had that needed $800 worth of body work. That's just one crack and it's not that bad. The wheels, nothing to write home about. They're just regular neglected 18-inch wheels with some regular neglected tires that I actually do care about because that's the only thing keeping my car on the road and not skidding off into a ditch. 3 tires are okay, they're all right, but the 4th one, which is this one, that one has seen better days. You can see it's down to the cord on the inner side, and it was definitely a butt-clenching moment. It was definitely a pucker factor when I came down here because I had to drive 40 minutes in traffic and hoping that this tire wouldn't explode the entire way. But I made it, and we actually are going to replace the tires here, but I think that's going to be in a different video. Right now, since we're done with the exterior, let's go on to the interior. And this is there's actually not much to write home about here either. It's just kind of dirty. Everything here is as it should be. The only thing is this window switch is busted. I mean, the switch itself, the electronic part works, but the plastic part is missing, so I have to sort of put a pinky down here to engage it, and then I have to put a screwdriver in there to lift it up. The seats also have some cracked panels down here, but these are super common to break. And also there is some minor bolster wear here, nothing a repaint or like a re-dye job can't do. This is some cracking here, but nothing that went past, nothing that made a hole. There's an AMG thing missing, but again, these are cosmetic issues, nothing super egregious. Actually, I'm coming to you from the future because I forgot something. The radio, or rather the audio from the stereo system, does not work for some reason, and I have to figure that out. I don't think it's anything too bad. I think it might just be a fuse, or the system needs to be reset, or it's the fact that this system had a aftermarket subwoofer. It's in that enclosure. Had an aftermarket subwoofer, and then they took out the amplifier, and maybe the amplifier was actually running all the speakers. But for now, that doesn't work. It's going to be a lonely ride for me to Florida if that doesn't work by the time I leave. But it's again, I can chalk this up under cosmetic issues and stuff that doesn't really have to do with the running of the car. But that is an issue that needs to be addressed at some point. Now I return you to your regularly scheduled program. So now that I showed you about this car, the exterior, and gave you a crash course on the interior, I want to put this on a scanner, on an Autel scanner. I think it's an Autel, but it's a dealer level scanner that will tell me everything wrong with the modules in this car, and I expect there to be plenty of faults. So we're going to put it on the scanner, and then we might put it on the lift. Okay, I have a snap-on scanner connected to the car, and it is basically going to go through all the modules of the car. It is really hard for me to video this, but let's see, right now it's just scanning all the modules to see if there are any stored or current codes. And you see here we have engine, automatic transmission, anti-lock brake, airbag, control module driver, control module passenger, and they keep going from there. You have Parktronic, roof control, Sensotronic brake control, that's the SBC. Actually, I'm gonna check this because it's a very common thing for the SBC brakes to have a fault. And what that means is if the SBC pump is faulty, then I have to replace it, and that's like $1,000. So that's going to be, hopefully it doesn't have that fault, but it might. It just might. Okay, so my car right now, it's saying brake defective, stop vehicle, and the vehicle is stopped. So I think it's just because it's scanning this thing. And right here it's a C249F, and it says the operating time of component A73 SBC left hydraulic unit is exceeded. Left hydraulic unit, I don't think that's the pump, or it might be the pump, who knows. All right, I gotta shut this car off. So that pump exceeded code is it's literally code for I need to replace that pump, because there's only a certain amount of iterations that that pump can operate in. And I don't know what that number is. Some people say it's 300,000, some people say it's 50 million. I don't know what that is, but right now I'm just clearing the code just to see if it comes back. Maybe it's, I don't know, for some reason, maybe it's not a, maybe it's a ghost code or something and it doesn't come back. That's most likely not going to be the case, but we'll see. Okay, it says failed to clear trouble codes. Please ensure preconditions we follow, blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm going to check the codes one more time. And the car's going to go nuts, but that's okay. All right, now the car is going nuts again, and it just says, all right, so C249F, operating time of component A73 is exceeded. So if anybody knows how to alleviate this problem, leave me a comment and well, alleviate this problem without having to pay $1,000. Is there a rebuild kit? Is there a way I can sort of make this disappear for now? It's not the end of the world, because I gotta turn this car off. It's not the end of the world because the brakes still work, so it might just be worth paying $1,000 and changing it. Who knows? Okay, onward. All right, so since we're going to since we had a fault with the tire pressure monitoring system, I'm going to check the tire pressure monitor and see if there's any codes in there. I'm going to check that, and then I'm going to check, see if there's any codes for the stereo, but honestly, I don't think that the stereo is anything that a code would appear for. All right, let's see, codes. All right, so wheel front left, front right, rear left, rear right. One wheel was defect minimum pressure. This is all, these are all, looks like stored codes, and it says initializing. So I don't think that this is anything to worry about. I think we just need to drive it, because I was getting readings from all four wheels when I was driving here, and it's only after I connected the scanner that things started kind of going haywire. So I don't think that's a real big issue. Now I'm just gonna check if the audio system has anything bad, but I think the fact that the speakers don't work is just indicative that there were some aftermarket amps installed. So I think that's it. Actually, there aren't any modules that I can select for the audio system. I'm sure it's in there somewhere, but I don't even think that it's worth looking. Right now, since the car pretty much checks out and it has the faults that I thought it was going to have, then I think it's time to put it on that, there's a lift over there. I probably can't see it. There's a lift right there, and we're going to put it on and look underneath the car to see if there's any nasty gremlins hiding there. Okay, so we are underneath my Mercedes, and it's actually not that bad. Yeah, there's like a panel missing right here. You'll excuse me, I'm actually using my hand with my phone to light the way. But this bumper is all messed up. There are actually some wood screws in here, and that's not Mercedes OEM. But the splash guards are all here. Looks like there's a little bit of an oil leak coming from somewhere up there, and off camera I put a new belt on because the belts were squeaking, so I put a new supercharger belt and a new serpentine belt, and hopefully that will last me until my Florida trip. So it looks like there's a little bit of an oil leak, and it's actually not that bad. It's just weeping. Might be valve cover gasket, something like that. Hopefully it's not rear main seal, but if it is rear main seal, we'll deal with it. So it seems like I spoke too soon. There seems to be oil dripping down somewhere, and that is coming from here. Where's that coming from? Somewhere around here. Over here. That might be one of those lines, one of those like a power steering line or one of the hydraulic lines. In any case, that's whatever. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't seem to be leaving a huge stain. So let's look at the suspension components. They actually all look in decent shape. Nothing is cracked, nothing is broken. All right, that's it's on this wheel. I mean, everything is caked in dirt, but it's not that bad. So yeah, everything is, all the boots, oh jeez, Facebook messages. All the boots are fine, at least on the front end, and the front end is the most important end. So here is the exhaust, and the exhaust also looks, I mean, it doesn't look new, but it looks okay. And here is the rear differential. This is called a guibo, and I don't know if it's called that in Mercedes speak, but it is definitely that in BMW circles. And this looks like there are a few cracks right here, and that will need to be replaced later on. I don't think it's that big of a problem right now, but later on it will be. Actually, it's the same story over here. Everything looks pretty clean. Nothing stands out to be, I don't know, nothing stands out to me. All the bushings are okay. I mean, this, you can see this cool AMG logo right here on the diff. Now, this is not a limited slip diff. The newer ones had a limited slip, but these ones unfortunately did not. All right, so that's all four wheels. All the components for all the four wheels. They look in good shape. Nothing's broken. The exhaust, actually, I think the exhaust has, yeah, look at this. This is a haphazard repair. There's supposed to be a exhaust hanger right there, and it looks like it's just an actual coat hanger. So that might need to be done at some point. It's not that big of a deal. I think that's what's causing my clunking. I have a clunking when I'm just driving, but yeah, that's basically it. Also, this hanger is also not doing much. It's supposed to be tight in there, and look how loose it is. Other than that, I'm actually extremely happy with this. It looks very, very manageable. It doesn't look like anything is out of place, and it doesn't look like it's been in any accidents. Nothing's been even that on my Aston Martin. This was unserviceable. Everything broke, but here it looks like it was actually garaged for some of its life. I'm not going to say all of its life, but some of its life. Yeah, all right. I'm very, very pleased. So let us put this thing down, and I think that's going to be it for today. That's all that's wrong with my SL55 AMG. Okay, guys, so that is going to be it. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. There are some faults. It's mainly cosmetic. Some of the brake components have to be changed, and also there's a slight oil leak. But other than that, this is a very, very solid car, and I'm very happy because I know that we have a solid base for when we can mod, and that gets me excited. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, social, do everything I'd like you to do to get the word out there that I love doing this stuff. I love working on cars like this. I love working on this car in particular. So, twitter.com/TheRealTavarish or @TheRealTavarish. That is also the same thing for Instagram. Facebook.com/AskTavarish and AskTavarish@gmail.com. I do read all the emails. I don't reply to all of them right away, but just hang in there because I do have a lot of emails. But no matter, because until next time, this is me reminding you that especially on cars like this and all the other cars you see at a shop, you need to wrench every day.